Hello everyone, this is Martin here, back with another legacy video. Playing another take on the Esper Doomsday list that I've been goofing around with for a while. Really want to try out, this is like the strictest anti-delver take I've tried yet. So basically, I've removed Monastery Mentor, um, because I feel like that card hasn't been as convincing as I wanted it to be against Delver. And I mean, I don't know. It's fine. It has sometimes it's been absolutely amazing, but I really feel like in the post-board world where our only threat is Shouldered and then a couple of things coming from the sideboard, having Shouldered be a 4-drop and then a 3-drop being the other thing that comes in is a little bit rough. And I've had success, or it's worked out for me before with Angler versus Delver, as this basically dodges like every I think realistic removal scenario that they have. It would have to be like Brazen Borrower, which is like it bounces, that doesn't remove, so but could obviously still turn the tide. But aside from Brazen Borrower, I don't think like this doesn't get countered by Blast. The only way we get this countered is with Force of Will, or if we run this into a Daze. And like a 1 mana 5/5 is nothing to sneeze at, especially one that doesn't get pyroblasted. So basically, these 13 cards come out, and a combination of Dark Rituals, Doomsdays, Petal, Thassa, Thoughtseize, and the likes are going out. So what did I cut to make room for all of this? Well, I cut the Mentors, but I also wanted to fit in the old Sheldog Island Emrakul plan because I feel like I've been losing a bit more than I wanted to versus Control. And it often comes down to like a turn 1 or turn 2 protected Doomsday not working out because all the control decks are basically playing like Endurance at the moment because they're all splashing green because they all want to play Minsk and Boo and Uro, I guess. So a lot of Endurances and Pyroblasts and whatnot, and like this Esper deck wants to normally like Teferi is one way we can beat Endurance, but not really against a control deck that has like a million post-board answers to Teferi itself. Obviously, some of them play Wasteland, but the Yorion 4-color control decks I've seen play 2 Wasteland. I think the 60 card versions play 1 Wasteland. So I think I'm okay with those odds. Yeah. And so I cut the Force of Negations. I was running 2 Force of Negation. And while that's not exactly comfortable, especially like this is a little bit of a like faulty experiment because I'm going to be playing legacy leagues and I'm not facing Delver very often in the leagues. What I am facing a lot is like a lot of nonsense decks, especially like Oops All Spells, Reanimator, and stuff like that. So it would be nice to have some Force of Negations, but I did up the main deck like disruption from what was basically like I think at one point it was like 2 discard, 2 pierce, and now I'm at 3 of each. So hopefully that can help us out a bit. The land setup I'm not exactly certain of. Like I'm not the biggest fan of playing this card, but I am playing 4 basics, and this does a good job at fetching like basic swamp, basic plains. But yeah, I think with that said, let's jump into a league. All right, on the draw with a pretty good hand. Definitely going to keep this. Has almost everything the doctor ordered. Uh, like we won't be casting the Doomsday for a little bit, but we have like force if it's a turn 1 deck and a pretty nice way to set up the rest of the game. I think the kind of deck I would least like to face with this sort of oof, grief. Good grief. Okay, well, I mean, grief is a way for them to like if they just like reanimate Grief here, then it's recoverable. Obviously, if they have now, then like in the last 5 cards, like land, Dark Ritual, and Tomb reanimate, then we get to get crushed, um, which sometimes you do. Let's see how bad it goes. I'm kind of yeah. We just have to hope all they have is like, oh, they aren't making a play here. Okay, that was about as good as we could hope for. Okay, so let's see. I mean, if they entomb here, it kind of puzzles me that they didn't do it at the beginning of my turn. But okay, never mind. That's not what's happening. I wonder, like, if they discard us here, like, obviously, if it's like Unmask, or now even if it's Thoughtseize, the Pierce is not going to stop it. I think we're supposed to maybe just let it go and then, like, Hail Mary Brainstorm for a Force of Will if they go for, like, the full combo. But let's see. So far, so chill. Okay, they pierce, or they unmask. Okay, I mean, and they pitched Gristlebrand, so at most what they can do now is like put Grief into play. Let's see what they take. I'm gonna say something, and um, this is not the most scientific thing. This is not the most scientific thing. But I have recently like been beating Black Red Reanimator. I think more than I used to, and I don't know if it's because I actually am not sure because I haven't looked into it. But are they like running Grief in the Chancellor of the Annex slot? It's like now this is happening, and I'm gonna let it happen, and then I'm probably gonna brainstorm in response and hide. See, like if I find a Dark Ritual on top, I'll make. Oh fuck! I just clicked through it. Okay, never mind. Okay, so probably they're gonna take the Doomsday here, but even because through that misclick, I don't feel like Grief is that scary. Like they have 0 cards in hand, so we can set up Brainstorm here and set up a Predict, and maybe even find like I don't know Shieldred or something that. Okay, that's not too exciting. Let's put back like Underground Sea and Scrubland. And we will take the Scrubland and pass, and then we'll predict ourselves at the end of turn and see where that takes us. Alright, Grief swings in. We're at 16 all. Okay. Underground Sea. Okay, there's a Dark Ritual. So if we find Doomsday or Shieldred, we'll be pretty stoked. Let's brainstorm. But yeah, like I feel like I've been winning more than I usually do versus Reanimator. And I feel like maybe it's because they don't run. I'm just get like theorizing that it's because they don't run Chancellor anymore. But I mean, I could be wrong, of course. Let's put back 2 lands. Let's get Shieldred into play. Oh no! Oh no! I can still do that. Yeah, I was just thinking I couldn't fetch a black producing land, but I guess I don't have to. Yeah, not having the third Underground Sea, I am a little bit concerned about that. Okay. So they're on a like 3-turn clock. We can still lose if they manage to put like get Gristlebrand into play. Although like if we can get Strix into play first, then that should mean that we will win. Yeah, you don't like you don't get to be at 14 life and draw 7 with Gristlebrand when there's a shoulder in play. Okay. So let's play the Strix, I think. And we can get a card deeper and then brainstorm if we want to. Duress. Or we can just duress them. I kind of like that. Two lands. Yeah. Rough beats. Alright. You take 2. Yeah, alright. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so we don't really have anything worthwhile to bring in. Maybe a couple of plows, because I do believe that grief continues to be like the thing they're trying to do. And Strix doesn't really trade. It doesn't really do a lot. I mean, here it actually did end up being somewhat relevant, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think it hurts us to cut a few Strix. Um, anything else we want to be doing here? I don't like. You could argue for Hydroblast in the sense that they target Faithless Looting, but nothing else though. Prismatic Ending targets animate dead, but like if they already got to animate, then it's kind of like, hey, Prismatic Ending on that animate dead on Grizzlebrand, they already drew 14, so maybe not. I think probably this is okay. I don't know. I don't know if I should be bringing in, like, if Hydroblast 1 and 2 are better than Strix 1 and 2. I think maybe not, though. Not unless we start to suspect that they run stuff what do you call it? I don't know, like Pyroblast. They probably wouldn't do that. Or like, I guess Magus of the Moon is a card they've played. Yeah, we're gonna keep. Um, I'm worried that they kept 7, but I don't think we can like do like we can't ship this. Obviously, that kind of goes without saying. Okay, so they unmask us. Um, I don't like if I don't force here, they just take the predict or the force, and then they know what's up. So actually, I am gonna force, and I'm gonna hope that what's left in my hand is good enough. Like that they maybe go for an Archon, and that I then get to source the Plowshares. Like they go Faithless Looting now, and then bin the Archon. Yeah, kind of something like that. Okay, I guess not. I guess they're going for Bristlebrand. So now we have to hope they don't have the spell Reanimate. And they didn't. Now we have to hope that they don't have 2 reanimation targets. Hope, hope, hope. Do I get Scrubland here? I don't think I do, because if Gristlebrand hits the enters play, then Plow won't matter. So I think kind of Plow's run its course here. Um, and we want to draw live in case we draw like a Ponder or something. Okay. Well, the problem is they do run like a lot of animation spells, so we do kind of need we need to like draw a Dark Ritual to get Children into play, and after that we need to draw like yep, we need to draw like a white mana source to have Plow come online. Okay, so Badlands and what is this? Villas Broker of Blood. Pay 2 life. Target. Okay, so you can pay 10 life to kill Shouldered, I guess, and then draw cards at the same time. That's kind of cool, actually. Cool tech. Okay, I mean, there's Doomsday. Let's I don't know. Let's just play this out in case we draw running lands. Okay. So they kept a Grief. I mean, Grief is getting the Grief out is decent in case they like I don't know draw an Unmask or something here or a Dark Ritual, so they can't. I guess Dark Ritual they could cast the Grief, but even like pitch casting it would be kind of annoying. Okay. Well, the Plow is online. Just need another land drop before our opponent draws an animation spell. So actually, hang on. Does this work how I think it works? Whenever you use life, you draw that many cards. So this just like completely spirals out of control and kills itself. Kills the opponent if Shieldred's in play. So they pay 1 life and 1 black. Oh, they have to pay mana. Never mind. Let's say they do that. They pay 2 life. They lose 2 life. So they draw 2 cards. So they lose 4 life. That's interesting. Okay. Anyways. And then they lose 4 life, so they draw more cards. And does that mean like 1 activation actually just ends it? And now I think I have to cast tapping the white source in case I draw a Dark Ritual. I don't. Ugh, this is kind of awkward. Yeah, this is really annoying. Okay, so we're Brainstorm Lock now. We get the Bauble to draw through it a little bit quicker. So let's actually, do we Bauble them now? Yeah, let's Bauble them now. The Doomsday is on top of the deck. I'm happier to have that one discarded than the Shouldered. And seeing this, okay, there's an Unmask, so that will inform us. Okay, there's an Archon in their hand. I don't know. I guess we just take this, so they cannot so that they cannot unmask us, or not unmask us. Sorry, flashback the looting. I suppose if you're them, you unmask here because you already have like a stocked graveyard. I mean, that I would imagine so, anyways. Yeah. All right, and I'm kind of happy they did that because we're drawing the big guy, the Shieldred, or big gal. I don't know if Phyrexians have gender. Maybe they do. Let's see if there's like a flavor text on it that reveals that. Okay, they take Plow. I think that's a good take. Although, like I said, I think if Gristlebrand hits play, then we're kind of fresh out of luck. No, there's nothing to indicate a name. All right. Did you draw the animation spell? I mean, I think they're kind of due now, right? Yep. Vomit. All right. They can draw 7. Oh, no, hang on. They take him? Oh, and then they lose, and then they draw that many cards. They draw 8 cards. Okay. Okay, interesting. If they can discard us now, which I assume they will be able to, but if they can't, then, you know, maybe we need to top deck a land. Pay 2 life, target creature, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so this is how that works with reanimate. That's interesting. Okay, Dark Ritual. Yep. I guess they probably drew more reanimation spells, so now Gristlebrand can come in. And then, like, is this? Oh, looting, okay. Yeah, if Griselbrand comes in, they draw 7, lose 7 life, then this guy draws them 7 more. So Griselbrand activation is 14 cards. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna see. And there was no land anyways. Alright, alright, alright. Game number 3. I have no changes. I mean, versus this deck with their 8 like 0 mana discard spells, it feels like you are pretty much guaranteed to get discarded turn 1. But yeah, so they have more disruption, but I feel like they have, I don't know, I guess not more because they're not playing the Chancellors, just different kind of disruption. Okay, well, we got really good hands in both games 1 and 2, and we won 1 and lost 1. Ugh. Is this good? So I think I am going to keep this. As crazy as it might sound, but I think this actually plays pretty well against like a turn 1 um, grief. Obviously, you know, I don't know if I lose this, I'm gonna feel a bit silly because it's a pretty easy mulligan to force. But you saw like we had pretty much a perfect hand last game. We had Force of Will and 2 discard spells and Doomsday, and we still lost. Um, they keep 7, scary. Okay, so I'm gonna play this bauble out, and the question is, I probably don't want to use it right now. I probably want to wait, but probably not until like their upkeep, until further than their upkeep. I mean, okay, we don't want to draw Thassa, so let's take this Tundra here and signal that we have a plow. Oh, but I'm not filled with confidence in that they have 8 cards in hand. I mean, even if they go pitch grief, which is kind of what I'm like, that's kind of why I kept this hand. Yeah, okay. I plow, they take my ponder, and now they have 6 cards, but nothing in the graveyard so far. Like if they had mulled to 5 and done this, I would be like pretty confident that that was what they were. That was their whole plan, was to like grief and then animate grief and hope that would ride them into the sunset. But I mean, oh, they have so many cards, and I have 3, 4 lands. Okay, I'm kind of regretting this keep. We'll see. Okay, you got it. But I mean, if I had mulled to force, they just grief like they grief it, right? Okay, so Archon. If Archon comes in, at least we have the chance of finding like the second plow, or like I guess a Doomsday, which we awkwardly are not going to be able to cast on turn. Oh, we just draw lands. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. I'm not holding out for this. We need to top like if they assuming they get Archon into play, we need to. And this is so bad because the fact that they're willing to pay like a pedal for this means that they are for sure reanimating. Oh well. Wait, what? I get another turn? Sick. And if I hadn't led on the like if so many things could have been different, right? If Scrubland had not been in my hand, so that I could have fetched it and had that as my white source, I would have been able to go Doomsday now. But yeah, I mean, they didn't discard they didn't skip past the turn last turn because they didn't have animation, they, or I mean, they passed because they didn't have a reanimate spell, not because they didn't want to cast it, because they had 2 mana. So, and now it's actually pretty crazy that we drew the second Doomsday, unless they have a second discard spell. Oh, and they don't, so we get to cast Doomsday here. That's sick. So we might actually get away with this. Okay. I mean, we're gonna Doomsday here, and then next turn, if they get both of their creatures into play, then they will have all the stuff they want in the world. And maybe there's a chance that they have some way to interact with Thassa, although I'm not sure. So let's but yeah, okay. Let's say they get Archon into play. We discard. Let's assume we won't have any cards in hand. We'll for sure discard the Prismatic Vista. So let's draw predict away. I guess Baleful Strix. Draw Thassa and Cavern. And we can have like a Plow as the last card. Or I guess actually, hang on. No, let's have an Unearth, just in case for some reason they get to a point where they have like Pyroblast and to save it for the Oracle. That would be pretty far fetched. But okay, so we draw predict Strix, draw Cavern Thassa. We could also, no, we only have 2 blue mana, so. But yeah, that's good. I think this is pretty decent. Okay. So at least they will get to flashback Faithless Looting. Okay, sure. So they drew Entomb. Entomb number 2. Ooh, Iona. Okay. So now they actually do get to win if they top deck a reanimation spell. No! No! Don't do it! What's this? Flashback the looting. Flashback the looting. Yes! Okay, I don't think this goes wrong now. They'll be left with 1 card in hand and no mana. Discard Grief and Dark Ritual. Wonder if that means they have like Surgical or some other 0 mana interaction. Okay. Let's name Baleful Strix. And say Merfolk. This plays underneath Mindbreak Trap. Yeah, we got there. Sick. I was not expecting that. At the point in time when my hand was, what was it? Doomsday and like 3 lands and 1 land in play. Well, got lucky, I think. All right, round number 2 on the draw. I think we probably can do better. I'm gonna mulligan this, and I'm gonna keep. Probably. It's between like a Dark Ritual and one of the lands. I think we only need 1 Dark Ritual. Although, like, having 3 lands is also not the most insane. Okay, Scalding Tarn. Right on. Is this Delver? Yeah, okay. Cool beans. So if I draw Force here, I'm jamming. If not, I'm pondering, I think. Or maybe just playing out my fetch land. All right. Um. Hmm. Oh, force of will. Okay. So I just did say that I was gonna just jam, you know? Yeah, I think I am. This loses to two interactions, so like Daze Force or Force Force, but I do like going faster when I have the protection spell. So they thought about something and then they decided to go for the 2-for-1, I think, or the 2-for-2. All right, cool. So we want Cavern and we want Oracle. We want an Underground Sea, and then we want like Strix, I think. So how does this work? So we draw a Strix, and depending on what happened, like if they wasteland us, we obviously can't play the Strix. Then let's say we can't do that. We draw the second Strix. We play out Flooded Strand on the first of those turns. Then Tundra, fetch. I think I mean, there's still a couple of like ways we lose this, but I think this is fine. Um, Maybe it's like one land to no. I think we need this many lands, and yeah. All right. Let's hope we. It's really cool that we got to keep our force. But like, if they have wasteland and like two lightning bolts, for instance, I think that alone probably just wins the game for them. But that's you know, they, it's more likely they don't have that, but you never know. All right. They probably are looking through our exile zone right now, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, no wasteland. That's big. Ugh, second thingy. And remember, they didn't have days last turn. Like in all probability, they did not have days. So chances are they still don't. I'm not going to fetch because I kind of want to keep the order of the cards I draw here. If I do get to resolve this, we'll see. They now picked up a days, or they have like Pyroblast maybe, or just decide that they want to do something about this. Could be a brainstorm here. Yeah, okay. So let's see. That's a lot of power for them. They bin a land. Bin another land. Wow, okay. So they would have top decked lands for 2 turns. So I think probably. I guess maybe even there's a world where we're supposed to fight that brainstorm because they didn't. It's pretty clear they didn't have like days, and now they get to reshuffle their hand. They could have like both force and days now. But I will fight. I think. We'll have 3, then we'll have 2. Hmm. All right. What will it be? Good thing is, right now they are some ways away from being delirious with the 2 Dragon's Rage Challengers. They have 2 card types once this brainstorm is done resolving. But obviously, if they cast another spell here, they could have set it up to like put a creature into the yard, and then they only need to cast a sorcery next turn. At which point they'll have 2/3s. But getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I think like we really want this Strix to resolve here, so hopefully they didn't find 2 pieces of interaction with it. Yes, okay, that's pretty huge because like now if they have bolt, we can force that. And also, like, what we can do next turn is we can, if we get the turn, we can ponder. No, actually, no, that doesn't work. I mean, we could, like, if they tap out, we just draw the Oracle, we play it with force backup, and able to pay for 1 days, which I would kind of like. Okay, so they don't shuffle. No, their dudes fly. Now we have to trade, because red elemental blast. Okay. I don't suppose I'm gonna fight over this. Like, so, if they have daze and a bolt, then we're dead no matter how we slice this. If they have bolt but no daze, and by daze we could also substitute force of will, then if they don't have if they only have one more relevant card in hand, or rather, if they have a lightning bolt and no other relevant card, then I can let this resolve, or I could fight over it. Doesn't really matter. Is there any upside to fighting here rather than just like taking the 6? Hmm. So let's see. Yeah, actually no. I think I am gonna fight here. And if they have the days, then they have the days. And if they have days and bolt, whatever, we'll die. Okay. Do they have bolt here to just finish off the little guy? If they tap out and bolt, then we won't have a choice. We will have to just draw our oracle and and just like go for the play that is there to be had. So but anyways, like they have to basically, like, I'm not sure what they could be debating here. Okay, like if they have the bolt. Okay, so no, they don't have bolt. Not sure what the fetch was for. Okay. All right. So what's the play here? I think honestly, so if I play Belfal Strix here and it resolves, I can't fetch. If it doesn't resolve, then what? Then we just have to pray. So I think I will play it out. Wow, this is tense. All right, just remember not to fetch. I mean, we could fetch and fail to find. That would just be a loss of a life point for no reason. All right, double bolt gets me short of that. Okay. Scary. I mean, they're going to be like 23 cards deep now. You'd expect they kept on top. You'd expect them to at least have found one bolt. Lightning bolt, yeah. Do you have both of them? Yep. So, I mean, of course they don't know this, but my guards are down. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I was just supposed to go for the Oracle last turn. And like, maybe, yeah, maybe I was. Maybe it was. They only had the open blue mana. Yeah, I think that was probably a bit too cautious on my part, but it's easy to be wise after the fact. But yeah. All right, so it's gonna be hard because we're gonna have to win one on the at least win one on the draw if we even get to win one on the play here. Um, so yeah, we cut all the dark rituals, and I think we cut a couple of forces here, and I think that's our plan. So ideally, like, it would be nice to have dark rituals for Shieldred, but I think it's okay not to have it, and then just to like play her once we. Mm, once things are looking a bit better for us. So I think probably this is okay. Yeah, it's like a lot of lands, but we do just want lands. I think lands is good. And I think I will play into Wasteland having this many, and I think I do like the turn one duress here, see what's up. Okay. So I'm gonna take the Brainstorm, stranding them with a lot of lands and force plus one threat. And if they play the threat here, I am gonna prismatic ending it and hope and be happy either way. Either it's a 2-for-1, or we kill their one threat and leave them with like 3 lands and a force of will. We draw a second ending, that's pretty good. Okay. Scalding Tarn pass. Okay. Predict. Land go. Oh, so they drew us a second Brainstorm. That's pretty good for them. I would actually just really love a Brainstorm myself right about now. Or Shieldred. You know, I'd take Shieldred, send her through the cavern. So they liked at least 2 of the 3 cards so much that they decided not to fetch away. Wonder if that means I'm getting wastelanded here. Okay. Not quite sure how to feel about that force of will. I am worried about, like, Murktide is a card that I currently don't have an answer for. Expressive Iteration. I would love to counter that, but I don't think it's like then it's just going to be 2 cards and I'll be stranded with nothing. Excuse me. Okay. And they get the Brainstorm for free. That's nice. Yeah, like if we had drawn a Pierce or a Hydroblast, that would have been pretty great for that expressive iteration. Like right now, I feel like I'm falling behind. So, what will it be? Okay, so there's a Wasteland. So that means like Pyroblast is out of the equation right now. So if we were to draw Brainstorm, that would be pretty good. But we don't. We just draw another land. God damn it. Okay. I'm fully expecting like a Murktide to make its appearance here, or more card advantage for them. And we can't like There's no way we can force now when they have the open red mana and that many cards in hand. Dragon's Rich Chandler. Okay, at least we have a clean answer for that. You have another land drop? Okay, no more land drops. Bobble is nice, you know, with predict. I'm gonna lead off with taking out little miss thing here. Then I'm gonna we could either scry ourselves with bobble, or we to see if we want to fetch away stuff, or we could fetch and then we could like bobble them and predict them. I think like if we bobbled them and predict them, I think there's a pretty high risk of them forcing it. Whereas if we bobble ourselves and predict ourselves, I think it's more of a like realistic chance to let it resolve, which is what I want right now. So I'm gonna fetch out my basics here. Island. But what if we see something we really want here? Well, I guess then we're drawing it. Okay, I don't think duress, while I don't hate drawing it at all, I don't think it's that important. And if I'm them, I would really probably fight over this. Yeah, damn. Hate it when my opponent makes the right play. At least we're drawing through. I mean, and the dress is not a bad pickup necessarily. Jeez, just getting completely buried in card advantage here. Fucking expressive iteration. I mean, come on. I still think like a Shoulder kind of just wins this for us. Probably. Okay. I love that I... Oh, no, I should have dressed first, shouldn't I? Okay, never mind. I mean, I'm down for a uncounterable fishy. So if we make it uncounterable, I don't think we really need the Force of Will right now. Or I suppose it would be kind of annoying if they had like a borrower. Wait, can you duress a petty theft, or is it like a creature? I think you can't, right? I think it's like because it's also a creature. Let's go like this. So we'll draw the force next turn. Okay. I mean, I think I'm just gonna take the ponder and make the fish. Let's make it a zombie. There we go. I'm not sure if this is going to be good enough. Okay, so now they have days. So they make their second Delver, and eventually they can like trade both Delvers for my fish, or they can try and race me here. So who wins this race? Let's see. Let's say they go up. They drop to 12 here. If they flip, I go to 8. They go to 7. I go to 2. Yeah, I need them to not flip here. No! God damn it! Of course. Fourth expressive iteration. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the play is here because now we no longer have the cavern on. It doesn't really matter now, but like we can't draw Shieldred and resolve her. So now we have to draw like running plows kind of thing. So let's say that they pyroblast this. This is a pretty easy pyroblast, right? Or red blast. And if I force, then they force back. And they even like have one more leftover force. Gross. At least let them spend that. That doesn't matter, right? Like they will force whatever like relevant draw I would end up like if I were to draw something good. Although they okay. So they force pitch days. So they have force. So let's say I were to draw like a. It's actually a little bit close. I mean, they could have a bolt here and then it doesn't matter at all. But if they don't, what's the play then? Because, I mean, I could also then top deck like a Force of Will or a land or whatever, something doesn't matter. But if I were to draw, they do not shuffle. Okay, I guess they found the bolt. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, so that can chump. So then it doesn't matter now, I think. Yeah, they can just jump. I was going to say, like, they're at 6, so pitch casting is not a given. Okay. All right, GG's. All right, off to round number 3. All right, cool. Back for with round number 2. All right, on the play for round number 3. Let's see what we're up against. Ooh, so close. We're up against a Yorion deck. Okay. So I'm going to mulligan. And yeah, I'll keep this. I'm not loving it, but I'll grudgingly keep. So probably the basic planes is the card we can stand to live without. I'm going to ponder here. Yeah. Yeah, and let's draw the Strand. Just because, like, the Pierce is not doing anything while we're tapped. If they discard us, they won't get that. We can draw the Brainstorm and then, like, randomly get crushed by by, like, a blind therapy on Brainstorm. Okay, so it's Death and Taxes. So now I'm a little bit worried here about like a turn 2 Thalia. I'm also a little bit worried that I didn't draw like that I didn't fetch or like get a black source on turn 1. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, that's less catastrophic, but not exactly stellar for us. So now we need to like either find a discard spell to take the Cauldra, or like win in a manner that beats Cauldra, which is not that easy without any cyclers or like fast mana. Oh, oh well. So this doesn't beat Cauldra, right? Because, or I mean, this doesn't win now is what I mean. So let's say we Dark Ritual, and we Dark Ritual draw, and then we Brainstorm drawing 1 card, and then I think this actually does beat Cauldra, right? Because even if I were to fetch, I'll be at 18, I'll be at 9, and Cauldra plus Mom takes us down to 3, so I think that's probably fine, actually. And we can, like, Brainstorm into a Force of Will for whatever, if something really nasty was to come out. So I think, actually, we do that. We do that, and we're happy about it. And actually, we're gonna draw 2 cards now because we're gonna put Mishra's Bauble in the pile and brainstorm into that. Let's say that we want Thassa, obviously. And how about a Predict? And how about a Force of Will? And how about a Bauble? Does this mean we can't even predict? We want Unearth. So let's say we brainstorm into Force. Oh, sorry, brainstorm into Bauble, Bauble into Force. Draw Predict. Predict Thassa and name something else. And draw Unearth. Is that the thing? So we brainstorm, draw Force, Bauble, Predict, put back. No. Yeah, put back. No. I guess put back Scrub. Did I miscalculate here? So we put back Scrubland and Pierce. We crack Bauble, draw the Pierce, then untap, draw Scrubland. Okay. And predict this in our hand. All right, let me just make sure I don't mess this up. We now brainstorm. We draw Force, Bauble, and Predict. We put back Scrubland and Pierce. We play Bauble. Our hand is now Force and Predict. So we Bauble, and then we draw the Pierce on their turn. Then we untap. We draw Scrubland. So even if they have a Wasteland, we then get to like cast Predict, and Thassa's the next card. We just have to not name Thassa so we don't deck ourselves. And then we put Thassa in the graveyard and draw Unearth. I think, yeah, I think I like this. So Unearth on the bottom, then Thassa, and then these 3 in a random order. Put back Scrubland and Pierce. And we need to draw the Pierce so that we can actually pitch something to Force. Although I don't think we will be pitching anything on their turn. I guess, yeah, if they were to put in Thalia or the Spirit. But I don't think we'll need that because I think they will just go face with the Kaldra. All right. Mountain. Interesting. Magus of the Moon. Okay, well, I mean, no, obviously. So it's that kind of thing. I drop to 6. I untap and draw my Scrubland. And I obviously... no. I obviously nothing. Let's name... What's the name here? Is it like Abandon Hope? So Thassa goes into the yard, and we unearth her. Dig her out of the mold. The mole, not the mold. So this is where they get us with some anti-graveyard synergy for 0 mana, like main deck Fairy Macabre? I would certainly hope not. Alright, cool. So this is like strawberry... what's the name for that? That's a painter deck, strawberry shortcake, like red white death and taxes. So I kind of like these 9 cards. That's a lot to bring in, but oops. But they're also like really good. I don't like Shieldred. I don't like Duress. I don't really like Belflestrix, truth be told, and like I think Teferi is okay, but not more than that. Like a lot of the time they will have more than one creature, so like Teferi and then like bounce one thing and then he dies is it's not that strong of a 3 mana play. Let's see. Yeah, I'll keep this. Faux show. And I will fetch out basic planes with Strand if I need to ending something on turn 1. And I'll ending any of their 1-drops, like if it's Mother or Vile. And they roll to 6. You love to see it. Plateau. Mom. Yeah, Mom is getting like a prismatic ending. I'm not gonna lie. And we have to do this, not that Mother of Runes poses that big of a threat to us, but obviously we boarded in 8 spot removal spells. So, like, Mom kind of invalidates them. I'm gonna pitch Pierce to my force if I need to force something here. I'll force a probably like almost any of their 2-drops. Yeah, I'm gonna force you, Spirit of the Labyrinth. You're no friend of mine. So Plow is good. I would love to see, or I would hate to see Rashad and Port here. I wonder if they play that, considering that they're playing main deck Magus of the Moon, but I mean, they're Death and Taxes. I think you're like, suppose, like it's kind of, you're law bound to play Prismatic or Rashad and Port. Yep, you got a Moon. And do we, I think we brainstorm here, hope to find a fetch land. Yep, and we do. We could also like predict. No, we got a ponder that can let us predict. Let's put away Petal and let's pass turn. It's a little bit awkward that we probably want. We're probably gonna fetch second basic island with our Strand, so we won't have black. But I'm okay thinking, you know, we'll find black eventually. Okay, they have more Magi. Okay, so they put Urion into their hand. Okay. Let's fetch like we're a modern player at the end of our opponent's turn. And yeah. Oh, do you have Red Blasts? Oh, that's kind of annoying. Okay. Sure. Can't really do anything about that. What's the take here? Spirit of the Lab. Okay. I'm not going to fire off Predict quite yet. Okay, now I kind of wish I did. Okay, let's predict them. No, they're an 80 card deck. Am I just supposed to predict myself? What haven't I seen here? I haven't seen Doomsday. Any other 4-ofs that I have not seen? I think I'm gonna name Doomsday. Though Doomsday is kind of what I want to draw here, but okay, I get a Dark Ritual. Well, I mean, I didn't want the Doom. Well, I did want the Doomsday. I didn't want the Dark Ritual. I also didn't want the Spell Pierce that I drew. So there's that. Feel like it's pretty unlikely that I'll find a target to my Spell Pierce, but we'll see. Yeah, you got a Spirit of the Lab. I feel like they have Urion plus a Red Blast, but you know, could be wrong. All right. Representing Red Blast. Oh, sorry, a Hardcast Force here. So we're going to start taking for a turn, which is a legit clock. Is there any world where Shieldred has a place here? I mean, they're bound to have like Caracas, right? Even though they are the red splash. think if I'm them, unless I really do fear the Force, which they can now, like, if they have Pyroblast, they can answer it. I think I play Agiori on here to be able to, like, put, like, almost lethal. Yeah, I think that's correct. So now we want basically to draw our Terminus or a... Yeah, Doomsday doesn't do it anymore because they will have lethal. What do they find with their Recruiter second time around? What will it be? So, yeah, it's a good question. Maybe like a Stoneforge. Okay, another spirit, backup spirit. That makes sense. Oh, and there was the Doomsday. Okay, let's see if we just randomly get lucky and draw the Terminus. We're gonna drop to 2 here, or no, 3, 4. Jeez, why? I can't do math. Yeah, no dice. Okay, let's move on to game number 3. Is there any is there any argument for Hydroblast? Something tells me that, like, they would have Pyroblast and Magus of the Moon and probably nothing else, unless they have some kind of like spoiler, like Maddening Hex or something crazy. Like Spell Pierce seemed quite like mediocre then, so maybe it's fine to have to go like this. Though obviously, we're gonna draw like Hydroblast in our opening hand, and they're gonna go turn 1 Aether Vial. Yeah, I'll keep this. It's not amazing, but we get the Scry and redraw with the Bauble, and we're like not very far off from casting Doomsday. If we were to find it, they mulligan to 6. Okay, so let's scry ourselves. I will take a Ponder. And then the question becomes, do I Force of Will like an Ether Vial here? I don't think so, because I think our hand is too fragile and explosive at the same time. No, I don't force that either. Okay, that's a good draw. I'm gonna play into Wasteland here because, and I suppose there's a Doomsday. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're close. If they don't Wasteland us, we get to hardcast Doomsday now. And we'll be pretty vulnerable to Magus of the Moon, but we'll have the Force of Will. What do we get here? Because Scrubland lets us cast Fairy next turn. It also lets us like put a Terminus in the deck. They've not made a 2-drop, so you have to think that they have like relevant 3-drops and or Pyroblast. Yeah, I think so. We gave them a Wasteland target last turn that they didn't take. So let's get Cavern of Souls, because they are pretty clearly the sort of person to play Pyroblast. Suppose Terminus? Do we just completely forego the ability to beat the ability to beat Magus of the Moon? The only way that we survive a Magus is Lotus Petal and Basic Island, and I do believe they are likely to have a Pyroblast at that point. How about a Swords to Plowshares though? And I already took Terminus. Right now we lose to Single Wasteland. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing we want to do. So how about Lotus Petal? So how does this look? We Force of Will something on their turn. And then we untap and make we Force Pitch. We either we Force Pitch Predict, or we Force Pitch to Fairy. Maybe Terminus isn't even that much of a thing. Like if their 3-drop is Magus, then we can't Terminus it with our Scrubland. If their 3-drop is Recruiter of the Guard, then they're probably getting Magus, you know what I mean? Maybe actually the Terminus becomes a Prismatic Ending. And we ending them. So we ending the Deafening Silence. How about this? We Force Pitch to Fairy, untap Deafening Silence, gets ended. And then so we draw a Prismatic Ending. And then we either we could set it up so that we draw Thassa, or we could predict. Yeah, geez, I'm getting completely mind screwed over here. I think this pile needs to draw one more card than it's currently doing. But I suppose we both have Unearth and Predict to draw cards, so I think this is fine. And then we can if a Magus of the Moon gets through, we can Plowshares the guy, Source the Plowshares off of Petal and free up our lands. So let's how about Cavern on the bottom and Thassa, then Petal, Plowshares ending. I think that's okay. What would be kind of scary is if they have they make their 3rd land and then they make tap 2 mana to cast Stoneforge Mystic, and then they have Pyroblast to back it up. Alright, there's a 3rd mana. Thalia. I suppose I'll grudgingly accept Thalia. We have answers for her. I think maybe so I'm going to draw Plowshares next turn. But I think maybe we can survive the Deafening Silence here. So 4th land Magus with Red Blast backup. I'm not getting away from that. I don't think. I guess then again, I'm drawing Plowshares and then Petal. So I guess not even that is the end of the world. Okay. Mags of the Moon, okay. Alright, so how is this gonna pan out? So next turn we'll be drawing Petal. So what we could do, actually, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I can just plow. I can float white and plow the guy. Interesting. Okay, and there was Caracas, by the way. You know, answering my own question from before. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm a little bit. I think I kind of confused myself a bit, but I think we're probably okay. I think they are like representing the pyroblast. So whatever. So now the pile is like Petal. We could cycle into Petal now. Yeah. I think like I'm gonna cycle into Petal. And then I'm going to draw Thassa for turn. And the last card in the deck is my Cavern. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play Teferi now. And if Teferi lands, then he lands. And then we win, I think. Well, no, we win. If he doesn't land, then that's because they use a Pyroblast, and in that case, like they don't have that for next turn. We can force whatever play they make and hopefully be fine. All right, big call here. So it seems pretty obvious that they have the Red Blast, and like if they don't use the Red Blast now, yeah, okay. So Red Blast down. All right. So do you have one more Red Blast and one more Magus of the Moon? Then you beat me, and if not, then I win. I think. Well, there's the Magus. Phew! Didn't have the second Red Blast. Cutting it kind of close, I have to say. All right, got there. All right, off to round number 4. All right, round number 4 on the play. Yeah, why not? Work a little bit awkward. The rest of the hand, kind of sweet. I'm going to ponder on turn 1 because... Oh, hang on. Opponent mulliganing to 5. Maybe not. Maybe this is a keep brainstorm? No, I think probably ponder is fine. That's funny. Alright, why not? Why not? I hope we don't, like, get turn 1'd. Or turn 2, I guess, because we're gonna Doomsday next turn if we still have a land. Plateau. Street. What? Plateau and Street Wraith? Okay, I'm very confused. Hang on. What is this? Is this like Madness, I guess? Yeah, Madness kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay, it's Madness. Ugh, yikes. Okay. Fingers crossed. Nope. There goes the Doomsday. But they didn't discard anything. Okay. Well, the Ox, but okay. Well, if we find a land, let's brainstorm here. Come on, Dark Ritual Shoulder it. No. Okay. Let's get away from these two probably. And is there any way I want to? Is there any way I want to discard them now? They obviously whiffed. So what could they have? They could have like a creature I don't want to discard, basically. So I think, and I would rather ponder here, I think. And maybe crazy. Oh, there's another Doomsday. Plus the Unearth that I shuffled away from before. Let's yeah, let's go with this. Again, put Doomsday here. So seeing as they have no Vengevines and stuff, they also don't have black mana, so they can't get the imp. Faithless Looting, okay. Now they get to actually decide what goes into their graveyard or gets discarded into play if they have Madness cards. And the Ox, yeah, this is kind of scary. Okay, so they discard 2 Root Walls. Does this somehow come into play and have haste or something? No. Yep. So I think this can just come in, right? They have 9 cards in the graveyard now? Right. Oh, okay. And there's Hogak, right. I don't think they can cast Hogak right now, right? Because they need another green or black creature. They can get their Ox into play. Alright, what's this guy have? 4/2 escapes with some +1/+1 counters. 1, I guess, yeah. They draw 3, and is that just it? Okay. They just draw 3. Seems good. They discard their hand first. Right, okay. You know, opponent, you are taking quite a long turn here. Okay. So we get to cast Doomsday and then Baleful Strix into, I guess, Force of Will and hope that's good enough. We can't win on the same turn, I don't believe. So we have 3 mana, it becomes 5 mana, it becomes 2, it becomes 1. Yeah, not the way this deck is built. Alright, so let's draw a Force of Will with that Baleful Strix. Then I guess draw Predict. And predict Baleful Strix. Draw Thassa and what? Tundra? We draw Forceful now. We have our land drop we can make the next turn. well, I guess we have a Tundra, so we wouldn't really need. Doesn't matter, I don't think. Could make it like Unearth if for some reason Oracle ends up in the graveyard. So we draw Force now, then we draw Predict Strix, draw Unearth and Thassa, and we will have 4 mana exactly to do that. So that's fine. Thassa, Strix to get predicted. Hope this is good enough. So what we really need to not happen is for them to like get an anger into the yard and like plus other stuff into play. They get to flashback Faithless Looting now. This doesn't have an attack trigger, does it? No. That's something at least. Oh, and there is Vengevine. They have not cast a creature yet, so if they draw exactly 2 Wallas or Angie's Ravagers or whatever it's called. Okay. So but they hit anger, but they didn't hit anything else. And they still can't Hogak because only red green. They need green or black or green black. They do get to attack here and pump both Root Wallas. So we'll be taking 6. And we will block the Ox. Then they can escape the Ox again, draw 3 more cards, but we're beyond their attack step, so and they could hit like, I guess at worst Burning Inquiry, I think. I think this is a safe block. Yep. So we just get the turn. Predict Baleful Strix. And cast a fish. Alright. Kind of grueling, I have to say, playing against this deck. The Hydroblasts seem good. Honestly, the whole removal suite seems pretty decent. Like, discard seems pretty bad. Pierce is not the worst, but maybe on the draw it's not that good. I think we can shave a Bauble and probably a Predict. I'm not sure how good Shieldred is. Like, they do draw a lot of cards, but again, it's like pretty hard to have her out early enough. Same for like Teferi stops the whole madness thing, but it requires us to get to turn 3. I like honestly Strix might not be the worst, but maybe if we're planning to control the board with removal spells, then this is fine. I think Cutting Unearth also is fine. Let's try this. This is not a deck I have a whole lot of reps against. They keep 7. I'm gonna keep 7. This is kind of a weirdo hand. Like if we get Burning Inquiry, I'm not even necessarily that upset. Obviously depends on what follows. Oh, this looks scary. No, just pass. Ooh. Let's see if somehow. Oh, okay. Right, okay. So now this is a triggered ability, and they cast her or cast this one. I think we try and force here, like find a force of will. Okay, we didn't. Let's put back a land and Shieldred. Yeah, not sure Shoulder is gonna erase this again. Like the Hogak just isn't gonna get cast with all these, but they do get to draw like 3 fresh cards with Angie's Ravagers, which is like super scary, obviously. If they want to pump, maybe I should have played out the bauble, huh? This is the bauble is 2 life, and life is gonna matter here. So they can pump one dude, but they choose not to. So I guess they like drew, I don't know, Faithless Looting? Ooh, Burning Inquiry. Oh no. Whew. Close one. They drew another Ravager, Savager Ravager. So I am gonna force that, I think. Or actually, hang on. This has to attack each turn. When it attacks, they take 6, so they will take 12. And then I can eat one of them. But can I sustain it life total wise? So like, let's say they top deck a land next turn. They can pump each of these, so I'll take 3, 6, 9. Eat 1. They'll take 12 after having taken 2, so they'll be at 16. They'll be at 4. And then I attack for the win. So yeah, this could go wrong. But I do kind of want to see them take an involuntary like 12 damage. And definitely going with Shoulder It now and not Doomsday for obvious life total related reasons. I am kind of bummed out that I didn't like get to keep my bauble, but at least I got to keep Shoulder It. Okay. Yeah, you gotta attack with everything, right? And I think like if I were to block one of the little guys, they pump the other one. I take 3, 6, 9. I'm at 5. It doesn't matter. I think I will like I will block the one of the Angie's Ravagers. No, actually, you know what? I am gonna block one of the little guys. Because if they can somehow get rid of, like, if I kill one Ravager and they can somehow get rid of the other one before their combat step, then they might actually be able to do something. So now they can pump the other one. I take 9. I go to 5. And I guess they're just dead? Okay, yeah, never mind. And it ended up not mattering. They would have needed to, like, hit a Root Walla off some of that discard stuff. All right, that was a fun game. Let's see if we can tie it up in the 5th round. All right, round number 5 on the draw. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. 2 Doomsdays, a bit awkward, but okay. And an opponent is mulling to 5. Just this last round. Let's see if they're up to no good. Yeah, they're up to no good. Ooh. Okay. At least they didn't kill us turn 1. They can probably kill us next turn. I'm assuming they were going to take the Thoughtseize here. It seems like the only logical take. We have to hope to top deck a Force. Or I suppose a Dark Writ. I think like we just have to go for it here and hope they don't actually have the actual kill next turn. Like if they had the turn 1 kill without Thoughtseizing, I'm not sure if pilots tend to go for that. Okay, so and their guys say that they mull until they find a land. Let's make sure we put a land on top of Thassa. But we want to basically like draw predict, or do we? What happens if they don't do anything and we draw predict? Like drawing predict, we can't Hmm. Yeah, this is actually kind of awkward. If like they either combo us next turn and they can get cute and target us, in which case that's what I'm talking about right now, where I need Thassa to be underneath a land basically, because they're the opposition, no, not opposition agent, the Battlestrike spy and Undercity Informer mill until you find a land. So, so what if they don't do anything next turn? We could just draw predict, plump in a land, predict Thassa, and then like, oh yeah, here actually, you know what we're gonna do? This plays around those things. So we put predict on top, then we put Thassa to be predicted, and then we will put Underground Sea and Unearth, and then I guess the last card can be a Dark Ritual in case we need to go a Doomsday again. So yeah, we'll put Dark Ritual on the bottom, then Unearth, then Underground Sea, then Thassa, then Predict. So if they do get cute and target us, they will mill Predict, Thassa, and Underground Sea and stop there. We will then untap and draw Unearth. And if they target themselves, I mean, then we lose, but there was no stopping that. If not, then we get to untap and just win. No! Oh my god. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, no, doesn't work. Can't make 2 land drops a turn. That needed to be Lotus Petal, which would then not work like this. So I just gave my opponent 2 turns. Oh, golly. So I guess what do we do then? God, that was just heinous. I like I could also put a force of will basically, and then no, and then I now ended up like both like adding a turn and not having any protection. So good job. Okay, how do we best salvage this? Probably we put Unearth on the bottom, and then Underground Sea, and then like Thassa. I guess draw the Dark Ritual. I don't know. Oh, that was bad. Bad, bad, bad. Please kill me now. Like, actually just combo and kill me, the old regular. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So, thankfully, in quotation marks, it didn't end up mattering. So, how do I get them to target me? Is there any way to do that? Probably not. They would only do that post board because, like, if I had surgical extraction, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, never mind. Okay. Is there anything unusual to glean here? Guess not really, right? How many thoughts is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. How many therapies? They must play Cabal Therapy, right? Yeah, there's a therapy. 2 therapies. And they play the Singleton Reanimate. Alright, that's cool. Alright. You got me. And welcome to not having anything sideboard strategy. Like, I actually kind of like Prismatic Ending here because it's not uncommon for them to like lead on a Chrome Mox. It's like Chrome Mox and print something, cast a discard spell or something or whatever, or just like Chrome Mox and print something, pass, in case they need more mana. Tough. Tough league. We did get to play Delver, which was what I kind of hoped for, and we lost. And then we got paired against three sort of pretty fast combo decks, if you include Madness in that. Is this even keepable? I mean, this is so nah. I'm gonna mulligan. Yep. I always had faith in you, deck. So let's put away Mishra's Bauble here. And hope that they can't win through a Force of Will. They mulligan to 6 as well. 5. Okay, we should. Come on, please tell me we can actually beat like a multi 5 with a Force of Will. Okay, so we're gonna Doomsday here. See if we can build a pile that actually makes sense. So, in order for us to do that, we will put a land on top. Let's say another Underground Sea. We will then draw that land. We will have Thassa's next card, predict her away, draw on Earth and Lotus Petal. And the last card doesn't matter. Let's, I guess, hide a... that doesn't matter. Let's hide a prismatic ending. Make them think we only have 2. If they care to look. Yes. Okay. Put prismatic ending on the bottom. Petal on Earth. Thassa, draw Underground Sea. Go. And now the dilemma will be if they go Dark Ritual. If we force that. Okay. Oh, they just passed. Never mind. Never mind. Thassa's Oracle. Well. Alright. Drew the concession. I mean, Sheoldred really isn't that impressive. What's the faster clock, Sheoldred or Gurmag Angler? I guess it's Sheoldred because she attacks in brackets for 6. But I guess Angler would come down faster. Although, I mean, it seems like neither card really has much relevance. So let's hope we get lucky here for game number 3. They mulligan to 6. I mean, I think I can't. I mean, they're due a turn 1, but they just mulligan to 6, and I'm not sure I can keep. Sorry, that I can actually like just mulligan for Force of Will. I only have the 4, not 6 like I have been having lately. So I think I'm gonna keep. But if they just have the turn 1, they just have it. And they keep 6. Come on, discard me. No. Yeah, Cabal Ritual. Whoa. They just have him? Right, okay. I can't beat that. They even had like the last Spirit Guide. Yeah, never mind. Alright. GG's. Got the 3-2. Lost one of the blitz fast combo decks matchups, which I suppose is to be expected. Kind of bummed that I lost that Delver matchup, but I do think that it was fairly close. Like that game two when they flipped both their Delvers in the first like on subsequent turns, and if either of them didn't flip, then we were ahead in that race with the Angler. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, so, anyways, yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.